Well, hello there, and welcome to another video that's just an excuse for me to talk about Ayreon. Actually, maybe that's the subtitle. The title of this project is actually the character equation, and the goal of it is to eventually design every Ayreon character. And you may be wondering, how many characters is that? And I'm so glad you asked me telepathically. According to my totally normal Ayreon character spreadsheet, there are more than 90 of them, since I grouped some of them. For example, the ship's crew in the source, or the villagers from Transitus, since that's how they're credited in the albums. And the most important question, why? Well, I just really like Ayreon, no shit, and designing characters, and I thought it would be fun to have my own interpretation of each character for whenever I want to make fan art of them. Of course, I already designed a good bunch of them for both official and fan projects, but I can still explain my design choices for them. Now, it's merely a coincidence that I started with the album The Human Equation for this. The reason is that I wanted to retake this 2-year-old sketch in between commissions and other work because I simply can't stop drawing. My days are either draw, write, or catch the little monster guys that live in my console and name them after Ayreon characters. And I'll give you a spoiler of how that illustration ended up looking like. Ta-da! I actually tried to record this one, but it's nearly 1 meter long, and my laptop already didn't like that, so let alone record it. So anyway, I wanted the characters in this one to look like the singers in the studio album instead of the ones in the theater equation, since I've already drawn those a couple of times. Gotta say, I absolutely love the characterization in the theater equation, especially the emotions. It's so good! But also, I looked at these designs from a comic artist point of view, so when you need to draw the same character more than 10 times, getting the level of details and accessories that their costumes have in the live version can be a bit too much. So I took a lot of inspiration from the live version, but I approached them with a comic making mentality, getting just the right amount of details that wouldn't make me want to shoot myself after 3 panels. And this is pretty much a summary of how I approach most of my designs nowadays, so bear that in mind. And I guess that's enough introduction. Let's get started with the first trio of characters of this series. First character is me. No, not me as in me, but me as in the character that James LaBrie from Dream Theater fame plays in the album, who is also the protagonist. His name is just me. Look, I didn't write this album, all complaints go to Arjen. So the thing with me, let's see if anyone got that reference, is that he is just some businessman guy who gets into a car accident, quotation marks, and ends up in a coma. In this comatose state, his emotions come to life in his mind, whom I will talk more in depth about in the coming videos, and they take him on a little trip throughout all his life and memories within a 20-day time span. So yeah, he's literally just some guy. He's a businessman, so you obviously gotta get a tie in there. However, I didn't want to go with just a suit and tie, because then another one of the characters would have the same look as him, and you'll see what I mean by that in a bit. So instead of giving him a full suit, I got him a denim jacket, which I guess could also give him a bit of a more rocker and cool look. I figured that would be fitting for him from the lyric, from the song Day 14 Pride. I also kept the same hairstyle on him as in the theater equation, again because I thought it was fitting. You'll also see that I'm using a different software and hardware on this. I'm using an iPad Pro and Medibang Paint. Why? Well, I really like this specific comic style that I often do in Medibang, and it also helps me keep everything more simple than I would do on Procreate or Clip Studio. In this case, I wanted to focus just on the designs, and I didn't want to make reference sheets either, since those are a lot more work than simply slapping a character with whatever pose on a white background. If I ever need a reference sheet or turnaround for them for whatever project, I'll do it, but for now I'll keep it really basic. I will probably redraw this anyway. I already see so many things to improve or that didn't look quite how I wanted them to. The perfectionist brain, always so fast. The process of this was pretty simple and straightforward. I did a thumbnail of the pose, made it big, then refined the volumes, drew clothes, facial features, hair, etc. over it, then inked with a pretty conventional brush, did base colors, and then did some basic shading over each one of the colors. And I wanted a very specific look for this, so I didn't use a multiply layer this time and just picked the colors manually, and then just added some light yellow highlights on an overlay layer, and that's it. I assembled the final illustrations on Photoshop though, and did some liquify action on some of the parts that didn't look quite right. I didn't record that because I'm sure that if I had Photoshop and OBS running at the same time, my laptop would grow arms and would strangle me to death. So, here's me. Again, the character, not actually me. Let's go on to the next one. So, back to the lore. This is Mi's wife, and you won't possibly guess what she's named. Wife. But again, she's not my wife, she's the character Mi's wife, okay? So, wife and the character I'll introduce next are with the character Mi at the hospital, waiting by his bed and hoping he'll make it through the coma. They speak between them and also talk to me in hopes that that will help him come back. And they talk about good moments they spent together and such, and they also appear frequently on Mi's comatose dreams. She's played by Marcela Bovio, a very awesome singer if you ask me. Definitely check her out, not only on many of Arjen's projects, I guess Stream of Passion is included here, but also other bands like Mayan and Dark Horse White Horse. For her, I once again really leaned into the theater equation characterization because I already thought it was neat. I only changed the pattern of the skirt, and then I gave her a leather jacket because, again, I also wanted her to have that cool vibe. If I recall correctly, she also had some sort of jacket in the theater equation recording at some point. I had her hair be a little shorter, a bit closer to Marcela's current hair, and I also added some pinkish highlights. I can't remember if she had that style in this live show, but I'm sure she's had it before, and I just think it looks neat. I gave her glasses as well, and you'll see me constantly switching the glasses layer on and off, because I didn't know if I should or shouldn't keep them, and then I asked some friends about it, and they said they liked the glasses on better, and as you can see, I listened to them. Also, I'm very much using references for this, despite them not showing up on the screen. I was just looking at them on my laptop since it was more convenient when working like this. Hope you'll enjoy the screen not being too cluttered with them this time around. This is also to say, always use references of faces, clothes, everything. Whoever says using references is cheating is a bad artist, no matter how good at the craft they might be. Fun fact, I believe I was looking at my own hand in order to draw her right hand pointing like that too. And don't be afraid to tweak the final results if you need to, with some liquify or transformation tools. They're tools like any other and they're there for you to use them. And it's not just some easy way to make things good. It's in fact very likely that after you do the retouches, they'll be registered into your brain, and the next time you get into a drawing, you'll do it with that in mind. And that was your friendly neighborhood artist giving out some tips. And wife is finished. Let's move on to the last one for this video. Oh, this guy! You know this guy! This is best friend, that's his name, because he's me's best friend, not mine. Or maybe his, I don't know. I'll actually interrupt the lore dumping here for a bit, because something really funny kept happening during this specific drawing, and you'll see I wrote it on the canvas. So the previous two drawings went just fine without many interruptions, except for me stopping to think every now and then. Now for this one, I feel like someone sensed that I was drawing him, and he decided to just text me repeatedly, like throughout all the drawing. I believe I left the first time he did so in the video, but I cut most of it. This is not a complaint, of course, I just find it so funny that he started texting me just as I was drawing him. I really think he sensed it. Stuff like this keeps happening so many times. It's actually kinda creepy. Anyway, Arjen, keep texting me, I'll keep bothering you anyway. Back to everyone's, favorite part, lore. Apart from me's best friend, he's also in the same company as him. More about the lore, again, he and wife talk about good past times spent with me, but in some parts there is also a sense of guilt. Gonna quote some lyrics here, so bear with me. From Day 4 Mystery.
Do you think he's seen it? I don't think he did. Do you think he knows it? I don't think he knows. Do you think he's been there? I don't think he was. Do you think he'll die? I don't think he will.
And from Day 13, Sign.
Can you see? I swear it's true. A teardrop trickling down his cheek. Yes, indeed, I see it too. Could it be he's hurting inside? Don't you think we should be glad he feels anything? He cries because of us. Does it matter why he cries? What's going on? As he's giving us a sign.
And I could go on. This part is basically to get the people who somehow ended up in this video and haven't listened to Ayreon to listen to Ayreon. Because I firmly believe that everyone should listen to Ayreon at least once in their lives and experience the journey that the albums are. Also, the reason why I'm not being specific with quotation marks spoilers. Wow, spoilers from a nearly 20-year-old album. So I think you can get an idea of why Miss accident happened, maybe. Onto the design. Best friend is played by the hippie man himself, Arjen Lucassen, in the studio album. So he's obviously going to be very tall. Now I gave him a suit jacket, but denim jeans, opposite to Miss clothes. You see what I did there? Again, the suit jacket kind of thing and the buttoned shirt underneath have that business vibe to them, but then the jeans make it slightly more casual. I also tied his hair up because I think it's a nice look, and overall I made him look friendly. I actually can't remember if I used references for this one, but that's because I have this condition that helps me draw a pretty okay Arjen Lucassen from memory called I had to draw him a million times in a comic, unfortunately. However, I used to give him even more spaghettified legs. I think I have controlled that nowadays, but I believe I should go back to it. And that's it for Best Friend. We're done. For now. I'll be back. If you manage to watch the entire video, then thank you so much. If you watch just a little bit, you probably won't even have reached this point, but thanks anyway. I have to say, the messing around video about the animatic did better than I expected it to, but honestly, I'm amazed that my videos even get a single view, so again, thanks so much for that. The point of this is to mostly improve my overall speaking, but especially my English speaking, and to also feel more comfortable talking about art and explaining the process of it, so that at some point I'll also talk about my own original stories, and that day may come soon, but for now I'll keep being passionate about Ayreon. That's basically my fuel to do things. Hope you enjoyed this, and as usual, let me know if you have any feedback or suggestions for other videos whatsoever. I have 2 more videos like this planned with the rest of the Human Equation characters. Now, will I keep doing this for all the Ayreon characters? Who knows? I probably will, because I love talking about this topic so much. I mean, you've probably noticed that by now. So, thanks again, and see you on another video.